So when it comes to the 8th generation of consoles, Microsoft pretty much started off this generation with a bang, and they pretty much started it off really bad. For one, they were talking about how their games on the Xbox One were going to have DMR protection, so that means you couldn't sell your games and trade your games just because, well, they were going to be stuck to your account. And on top of that, they sold the Xbox One back in 2013 when it originally came out. They originally talked about how the Xbox One was going to ship with Kinect, and indeed it did come with Kinect out of the box, and there was a couple of problems with the Kinect coming in the box with the Xbox One. For one, it made the Xbox One the most expensive console during this generation. It made the base model Xbox One back in 2013 more expensive than the original PS4 at $500, whereas the competition, the PS4, was only $400. So you can see that didn't leave a very good taste in people's mouths just because it was $100 more than the competition. Of course, Microsoft claimed that it's going to be a better experience with the Kinect, but we all know how piss poor the Kinect is when it comes to Microsoft and the Xbox team. They really don't do too much with the Kinect. Sure, they pretty much wanted to use it for gesture controls and used it for voice recognition back on the Xbox One, but you can see how it really didn't work. And they talked about how they'd have more game support for the Kinect for the Xbox One, but you can clearly see that really wasn't the case. And you can see years later they pretty much disconnected the Kinect from the Xbox One or the Xbox brand, and no longer can you buy a Kinect, and now you can buy the Xbox solely without the Xbox Kinect. Overall, it was just a really bad 8th generation for Microsoft. A lot of things aren't looking too good for Microsoft when it comes to sales of the Xbox One. Of course, we have now the PS4. The PS4 is still beating the Xbox One brand when it comes to game consoles, even if Microsoft right now still has the most powerfulest console on the market. As you guys know, they came out with the Xbox One X, and Sony did come out with the PS4 Pro. Of course, the PS4 Pro is not as powerful as the Xbox One X, but it just doesn't matter anymore because Microsoft is just too far behind the race, at least in the 8th generation, to win the race. And on top of that, one thing Microsoft really didn't do all too well when it comes to the 8th generation of consoles is the fact that their lack of first-party support on their platform is not good. I'm talking about exclusive games. When you look at the first-party / exclusive games on the Xbox One platform, it just really doesn't compare to what PS4 have. Yes, there's some good games, don't get me wrong. Not every game is really bad when it comes to first-party support, but there's just much better first-party support. And you may be thinking to yourself, doesn't the first-party support not really matter all that much considering Microsoft right now has the most powerful console on the market? That is true. Microsoft does have the most powerful console on the market, but people just want more for their money. When you look at all the exclusive on PS4 compared to the Xbox One, it just doesn't matter. And one thing that really hurt Microsoft's brand really quickly is the fact that even at launch, their system was underpowered compared to the PS4. You look at the base Xbox One compared to the base PS4 that came out in 2013, and you can see that the PS4 run things slightly better. It's not the fact that it run games slightly better. Slightly better in the long run really doesn't matter. If you compare games played on the base Xbox One compared to the games played on the base PS4, you'll know that they didn't run all that much better on the PS4, but just the fact that games run better on the PS4 slightly, a lot of gamers went for that just because they knew games would play slightly better. As long as they play better in any way, some gamers are going to go for the PS4 instead of the Xbox, the original Xbox One. That means frame rates of games are going to be slightly better, and that also means graphics on games would be slightly better when it comes to that. Well, talking about all this jumble and talking about how Microsoft really didn't do anything right in the 8th generation of consoles, it looks like Microsoft has said that coming up in the 9th generation of consoles, the PS5 and whatever the next Xbox is going to be called, they said that they're going to be working more towards the first-party support when it comes to Microsoft. They're going to be working on more exclusives because right now we just really don't have a lot of exclusives for the Xbox One, and the Xbox One is lacking in that department, and that's really a big deal when it comes to consoles. You want more for your money, and if Microsoft doesn't really have good first-party exclusives, what's really the point of picking up an Xbox One? Because you can get all the same third-party games on the PS4 plus all the great first-party games on the PS4. I guess the only reason to pick up an Xbox One is if you're a diehard Microsoft fan, or maybe you want the better performance, because I can't deny the Xbox One X looks gorgeous. It runs games at closer to 4K than the PS4 Pro, and some games can even run at native 4K depending on what the game is and what engine it's running and things like that on the Xbox One X. But besides that, one thing that really killed them off is the first party support. We just don't have too great of first party support, and Microsoft wants to really focus on that when it comes to the 9th generation on consoles, and hopefully everything will turn around for Microsoft and maybe they'll have better sales during the 9th generation of consoles. So be forward to the 9th generation of consoles. They're going to be working harder next generation on making as many exclusive or first party titles as possible for the next Xbox. Anyway guys, this is Wayne from My Tech News signing out. Boop.